how's everyone's week going? We're wrapping up, getting close to the weekend, so it's good. It is time for our last recipe for Southern week. We're doing our breakfast. We're doing shrimp and grits. Should be really tasty. Let's get to it. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy! So we're going to start by prepping some of our ingredients. We're going to get our green onions all nicely chopped. Kind of just one general head of it. Just going to get that all together just as best we can. All right. All right, so we've got our green onions all nice and set. Got a few that are a little bigger. I'll just get those chopped up. And then need some parsley. We don't need a ton, but we need some. And all the veggies have been washed. Everything's been washed. Just need about that much, kind of like, yeah, about like a little kind of handfulish amount. For that, we've got a little herb grinding, herb slicing thing. So it winds up just being about a couple tablespoons worth for measuring. All right. Whew, smell that freshness. All right, so we're going to set these to the side. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got this skillet heating up for our bacon. We're going to put 4 cups of water in this to get to a boil for our grits. And I'll check back 1 sec. Alright, so we have 6 slices. Just gonna let them get nice and crisp. Our water's still boiling, almost there for the grits. Alright, so it started. I put some Tony Chachere in there and gave it a stir. So now about 4 cups of water and I put 1 cup of grits. I added just a little bit of pepper. I'm not going to do salt because it's already in the Tony Chachere. We're going to give it the occasional stir. Keep our eye on this bacon. We'll check back in a few minutes. Alright, so our grits are not quite there, but they're thickening up, but our bacon is there. So we're going to put it on some paper towels and drain it. And when the time comes, you can just crumble it up. You can chop it if you want, but it should be crispy enough to just kind of straight crumble. Then we'll move on to our next step in this pan while the grits firm up a little bit more in that one. Be right back. Alright, so in that amount of time, our grits firmed up just enough. We're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter to it. Let that melt in there. be. Just melting that in there. Let that do its thing. Give me 1 second. Right over here, we have a pound of shrimp that we have that's deveined and whatnot. So we patted it dry, I'll put it in. Come on out, little pimpin'. Right, you will notice we did not leave all of the grease in there. We left about 2 to 3 tablespoons worth because that was just going to be way too much grease. We're just going to be working on letting these cook up, getting all nice and pink, and we're going to switch back to our grits. Sorry. And put just a little bit more Tony, just a little more shake, because it's good. See, we're just stirring that in there. Then we got 8 ounces of cheddar. And we're going to let that get stirred in as well. All nice and melted in. Checking on that. Check back to the shrimp. Kind of maneuvering them around. We're going to add a little seasoning to our shrimp. Add a couple tablespoons worth of garlic. Let that be flavoring with it. That nice aromatic. Making sure that cheese is melting in our grits at the same time. It seems to be, so I'm going to turn the heat way down on the grits so it doesn't burn them. Keeps them nice and warm. The shrimp will not take too long to do, thankfully. They cook pretty quickly most of the time. Alright, they've cooked up pretty nicely. Can add some lemon juice. Winds up being about 3 to 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're adding in there. letting that all cook up real nicely. And then that parsley and those scallions from earlier, those are all going to go in there. So all the scallions, all the parsley goes all in. So we're just going to let those heat up, let the flavors blend for just about a minute or two, and then we'll piece it all together. Alright, so we've got our bowl. Put some meat in there. And get some of our shrimp. Just a little more. And like I said, we're going to take that bacon. Yes. Triple it. Just crumble it there on top. Put the chicken. Bon appetit. See you all later.